and welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for a dog hearing. This is for a nuisance or dangerous dog hearing. And I'm going to read this. Today is October 12th, 2023, and it is 5:37 p.m. And the Board of Selectmen will be holding a public hearing in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 157, to determine whether the dog that lives at 777 Coy Hill Road in the town of Warren is a nuisance or dangerous dog, as those terms are defined in said statute. This notice is based on, that was in writing. And that's all we have to read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Can I have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance before we start? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. Thank you. All right. So we're here for a nuisance dangerous dog hearing. And we have some witnesses here. And I'm going to have them take the oath before we start. Did you put the oath in?
That's right, in red. You want me to read it?
Anybody that's going to be testifying for the hearing, please stand up and raise your right hand. Ms. Keefe?
Yes.
Okay.
Mom, do you have anything you'll
Well,
chime in?
I
Parker,
might,
Keith?
at this point, I'll do it anyway.
Raise your hand, Ivan.
Okay.
That's your left hand, raise your right hand.
Okay. This one's different. All those that are going to testify in the case, please stand.
After the-
Did that. You
No,
had to
do
write that
you-
down?
Do you?
Yeah. Do you solemnly swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Parker?
You didn't have to put all that in red.
Sorry.
I'm like, all right. So, the ACO called for a hearing tonight because there's been an issue at 777 Coy Hill Road. And can you please tell us what's been going on there? Please identify yourself.
Yes, my name is Tamara. I also go by Tammy Dufresne, Animal Control Officer. And I have been talking to Miss Keefe about this dog since early March. That's when some issues started, and I started receiving some complaints about the dog leaving the property and following people, walking down the middle of the road, jumping on cars. And I have everything in email, my multiple correspondences with talking about these issues, with the hope that the emails would result in a solution that the dog would be contained to the yard. Since March, that has not happened. There is a history of Ms. Keefe with some other dogs in the same issue that was before my time, and that animal control officer was able to frequently pick up the dogs, wrote many citations, and that resulted in Ms. Keefe rehoming the dogs. That was not my goal, and it still is not my goal for this current dog that's in her possession. My current goal is to make sure that this dog is staying on the property and not being a nuisance to neighbors. And I was not getting anywhere with the emails. And again, I don't feel like giving somebody a huge amount of bills is necessarily going to fix the situation. I'd like to have a conversation about what they're willing to do to keep the dog on the property and hopefully rectify this situation.
Okay. All right, thank you. Do you have any questions, sir?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. So Miss, do you want to be called Miss Keith? Or-
That's.
What do you prefer?
Elizabeth is fine. Elizabeth.
Okay. And thank you for coming today, by the way. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're here to work with you. You know, nobody wants to take anybody's dog, nobody wants to do anything like that. But we have laws, and we gotta abide by them and make sure that everybody's able to live together somewhat peacefully.
Mhm.
And, you know, we have dogs too, and,
I know you do.
and,
Mhm.
you know, our dogs are very important to us too, and we secure our dogs in our yard and prevent other people from having to interact with them. Because, again, you can't free range your animals, not dogs. Some people get scared by them, because they've had experiences. And sometimes they can do damage, like jumping on people's vehicles. And that can be damaging to people that own those vehicles, okay? So as a good dog owner, we have to have that responsibility and take care of them, all right? Now, one thing that we've noticed, and we got a letter from the town clerk, and this was on September 28, 2023, and it says, "Dear Board of Selectmen, according to my current records in my dog program, as of today, September 28, 2023, I do not show a 2023 license issued to anyone living at 777 Coy Hill Road, nor do I have rabies vaccination certificates on file for the dogs at that address. The licensing period is from April 1st to June 31st. And that is Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 141, requires dogs 6 months or older to be licensed yearly."
Dear sir, he is licensed. He is licensed. I have paid my $11. He is licensed.
So you got a
And-
license now in
Yes,
town?
yes, he is. So,
Okay.
okay. And his
And-
rabies tag number
And he
is
has rabies?
108.
He has rabies, so you
Yes.
fixed that?
Yes, no, you know, he's a puppy, and I just simply hadn't done it yet. It was just on my laundry list of things to do, and I didn't do it. No disrespect to you guys for your $11, I just hadn't done it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, fair is fair.
Well, our,
But he's
our,
all
our
set.
goal is to make sure it gets fixed, so if
Yeah.
you say you fixed it already,
He's-
it's good.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
okay, so.
All right, thank you very much for doing that.
Also, may I just, say one thing?
Sure.
We're talking about a complaint from 8 months ago, and my dog is just point blank, I don't know, Parker, where's your dog right now? Or in the house?
On the rope or in the house.
Exactly, so anyways, let's carry on. Let's go.
And has been for months.
Mhm. So,
And
okay.
months and months.
Mhm. So, and I do respond to my email cordially also. So, okay, let's go.
Okay, when
better-
did you start putting the dog on the rope?
I don't put him on a rope very often, that's not very kind. I run with him frequently, but I can't run down Coy Hill Road anymore because of all the other loose dogs on Coy Hill. So
There
here's
are
where,
many.
herein lies the rub, okay, guys? You've kind of singled me out on this one, because Coy Hill Road is, there's so many loose dogs and things like that, and livestock, by the way. And I have a puppy, and these complaints were when he was a boisterous young boy. I work really hard with him, I train him really well. My dog is a sweet love, you can attest to that if you wish. But he's never caused physical or intense or serious bodily harm, as you guys have stated. Because if he had, I know this for a fact, there would have been an officer at my door, there would have been a medical report, there would have been some other proof other than some grainy photograph of a winter's day, and that's all I got. Dating back to February, Tammy, and you know it, you saw the photograph, you know it yourself.
So,
I honestly have no idea
So,
why we're
Elizabeth-
sitting here.
so as far as with the rules with the meeting, okay, if you need to address somebody, you address the board. You don't address anybody in the
Oh.
audience or any of the witnesses directly, you address the board. If you have a question, we can ask the witnesses the question and go from there.
I have a question.
You can speak. I'm just giving you what the proper procedure is, because
Thank
you
you.
can't be addressing everybody in the audience directly.
May
It's not
I?
appropriate.
May I?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe I have a right to face my accuser. So where is said witness that my dog put its mouth on?
Okay. Well, we
Please.
got emails from people Again, we're here to discuss options and what's going on, and whether the dog is a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog or nothing, okay? It's for us to determine, based on witness testimony, the facts presented in front of us, to determine where that dog falls in those categories. If it does fall in a category as far as a nuisance dog, then we can apply some restrictions to the dog. And those could be ensuring that you secure the dog, increased fines for dogs being caught being loose. I'm just explaining the process to you, so you'll have a second to speak. So there's different things that we can do as far as to ensure the dog is not walking around the neighborhood, if it is. For a dangerous dog, we look for specific things to see if the dog has actually injured anybody, what led up to those injuries, and there's a variety of things that could have led into that. So we have not made a determination on any of those yet. This process, where we're at right now, is we're investigating the claims to see where the dog falls. And then if there needs to be some sort of correcting action ordered by us to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. So that's why we're here. Okay. Ms. Keith?
I've never been fined. Because
Never been
point
a
blank,
citation.
nobody has ever clarified that that is our animal. There's no citations, and frankly, other than a few rogue emails here and there from Ms. Tammy, I'm sorry, sir, but this is, I don't even know for sure that this is my dog that you're speaking of. And so, I understand that like a nuisance dog would bump up your like fineage a little higher, just to like remind the owner of the land or the dog, to comply. But I haven't even received my first, no, please don't bring me one, thank you. But really, I just, I don't know. There's no fines on record. There's no anything. There's no proof. If you look through what you sent me, there's no indication of anything. And but yet we're sitting here.
So
We're sitting here in front of you.
This is the process. So this is what we investigate now, and we look into the claims, and we determine whether it actually has happened. Okay, so that's the process. You are more than entitled to rebut any of the claims and present any of the evidence that you may have. But this is the process we have, and we're going to go through it. Do you have any other questions about that?
No, not really.
Okay, so we're going to proceed now. All right. Mrs. Dufresne, have you ever personally seen the dog?
Yes,
You've personally seen
yes, I was on Coy
Ms.
Hill.
Keefe's?
I was on Coy Hill, and the dog was there. She was walking. He was walking with another woman, who was staying with Miss Keefe. And I asked the woman if this was her dog, just to clarify, and she confirmed that it was not her dog. It was the dog of Miss Keefe, who she was staying with. I emailed Miss Keefe to discuss this, and instead of talking about the situation with the dog, she decided to start talking about the woman and how she was a squatter and how she was going to be removing her. Did not say anything, saying that it was not her dog. So I have personally seen the dog running down Coy Hill, quite a distance from the house. And even here, she just stated the fact that there is a rope, but she doesn't put the dog on the rope very often because she finds that cruel. If there was some kind of system where they were committing to keeping the dog on the property, whether it be providing the dog with a fenced-in space or providing it and committing to the fact that it was a going to be on the tie or cable or whatever, And then when people complained about it, obviously I'm going to have to issue citations at this point and follow that course. I was hoping not to, but it looks like that's not gonna happen. I will make sure that they have documentation that it is the dog, and I mean, I can proceed that if that will be more helpful moving forward. But I really am just looking for the dog to be secured, and that's all I want.
Okay. And we have two other witnesses that stated that Ms. Keith's dog was off the property.
The two witnesses, which I have provided for your information, have asked to be anonymous at this time because they fear retaliation.
Oh, please.
Oh, you get, all right, I'm counting to 3 and I'm walking out this door. Like, I'm that close, Mom.
You're allowed to face your accusers.
In a court of law.
Yeah, well, this isn't a court of law,
Well,
first of all.
This is
you
not a
guys
court
are
of
so
law, and
ridiculous.
this is against
So
every
Ms. Keith, I'm gonna
democratic
ask
law
you
in the country.
to behave,
That you
Yeah,
face
oh,
your
right here,
accusers.
thank you.
okay?
Do you know that property is 160 acres and half of the frontage and the rear that he's been quote seen on is owned by the property owner that the dog lives on?
I saw the dog on Coy Hill Road at the intersection
If
of
he's on
Reynolds
the road, he's on a public road.
I've seen multiple
and I
dogs on
admit
Coy Hill
that.
Road.
I met your dog. I don't want to
Direct
follow.
the
I don't want to
questions
follow the
directly
rules.
to the board.
It's hard getting that conversation going. I feel like I'm seeking something very, very simple in the fact of like, let's work out a situation where we can talk about guaranteeing that this dog is going to remain on the property. And the conversations, both in email and here in person, have been every other situation. I think most dog owners would say, okay, well, this is what I do to keep my dog on the property, and I'm not getting that, and that's why I requested this hearing.
Okay, so here's my deal. It's actually none of your personal business what I do with my livestock.
So Ms.
It's
Keith,
livestock.
I haven't recognized you yet,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
We're talking with the ACO right now, and once she's finished, I'll address you, ma'am, okay?
Mhm.
Do you have anything else to add?
I,
Not you?
Well, we seem to be getting into livestock, but first of all, I'm not even sure if I have to find out from the police department if she's allowed to legally own livestock after an incident that regarding livestock that I will not say
So
regarding this
you can't
property.
bring that up, that's not
But,
what's in here?
I don't want it to be about livestock. I just want it to be about this dog.
Right.
That's all I'm worried about is this dog and making sure that for his safety, in addition to, the community members, that they don't have to, worry about, running over a dog. And then I don't want the dog to get hurt. I just want the dog to stay on its property. They mentioned they have all of this land, which is fantastic. But that's not where the dog is walking. The dog is walking down Coy Hill Road, where people drive very fast.
This was is the
Ma'am.
situation, not is.
Ma'am,
Was.
address the board, please.
I'm sorry.
And when we have an opportunity, we'll come to you if you have a question, okay? So, right now, the ACO is speaking. Once she is finished,
I apologize.
thank you very much.
I mean, that was it. I've said my goal multiple times. I just want to keep this dog safe on the property.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Who complained
ma'am.
that the 200-foot rope was cruel?
that's me, Mom. I just said, no, I only put Julius out on the road once in a while, just if he's annoying when Parker's eating breakfast. Otherwise, I run with him. And I run that 160 acres twice a day, 4
Right.
times a day with
He
him.
has to be
Yeah. I
let out
exercise my
occasionally
animal.
to go
He
to the
hasn't
bathroom.
been outside in months.
No, he
When's the last
hasn't.
time you saw him on the road? Come on, you haven't, because he's
So
not
Miss
out.
Keith,
Did you just put me off?
And
Miss
I
Keith.
pointed because I can't
you
address
gotta
it.
address the board
Okay, you
directly.
guys, this is so
Stop
tedious.
talking to the witnesses. You talk to the board. If you have a question, you can ask us, and then we can ask. Or we can ask the witness to answer, okay?
Okay.
That's the procedure. You have a question, ma'am, go ahead.
I do. So what are you gonna do about the rest of the loose dogs on Coy Hill Road? And why is it just me that you're surrogating out? Because every day of my life, there are up to 10 different loose dogs, most of them great, okay? Mine is not loose. My dog has not been loose for months. He's a puppy. He's young. He may have gotten boisterous and been excited to see the walking, hiking lady or whatever, whomever didn't bother to show up, but I know who it is. But what about the other loose animals? So why just me? That's a number one question. Number two, it's like, I don't know what else I can say to you. My dog is confined. I run with him on my property. I don't let him off leash. What more exactly are you seeking from me this evening, sir?
So we're looking at what we have for evidence.
Evidence to
Listening
what?
to what you're
Evidence
saying.
to what?
Again, we're listening to what you're saying, and then we will make a determination. That's how this process works. It is a hearing. So we're hearing from a witness. She has personally seen your dog off the property, okay? Others have provided, emails in regards to seeing the dog off property, all right? And we're just reviewing that,
Great.
okay?
Mhm.
And again, if you have evidence or something that disproves that's up to you to present, okay?
A dog on a rope, I'll bring him if you want me to. I'm like, I'm serious, this is like a witch hunt. It is, and you know it, because you know it's not the only loose dog on Quail Hill Road. And
So, ma'am,
regarding what she's bringing
we're
up, you know
only
that's not fair.
addressing your
You know.
dog for this hearing, okay? That's all we're addressing.
Mhm.
We're not addressing anything else
Mhm.
in the town. We're not addressing farm animals. We're not addressing anybody else's dogs in the community. We're addressing your dog in this hearing.
Sir?
So that's what we're looking at.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Do you not find that this is a conflict of interest regarding that that's your wife?
So it doesn't pertain to the conflict of interest laws because there is no financial benefit or gain to me or my wife or my family that would trigger the conflict of interest laws. So,
Okay.
I do feel like I can be fair and impartial, which I believe I am. I'm giving you ample opportunity to discuss your dog, and we're listening to the witnesses and other information.
Okay, regarding discussing my dog, like, do you want to see some pictures of him? I don't really know what else I can say
So
to you,
what's your dog's
sir.
name?
Julius. Jules.
Julius?
Mr. Orange Julius.
Mr. Orange Julius? Okay. I did
Mr. Orange
see-
Julius.
I thought somebody was wishing for Orange Julius or something, because I see an
yes,
Orange Julius
it's
on
Mr.
it.
Orange
Uh,
Julius, okay?
I would like an
It's-
Orange Julius.
Exactly, all right. That's my doggo, all
pretty good
right?
name.
That's Parker's doggo. He had an
All right.
orange collar when he was a pup. The other ones had a red or a blue or whatever. And so he was Mr. Orange, and I was like, Julius, that's a beautiful name. And he's that color, slightly cream colored. Yes,
Yep.
okay? He's a good boy,
Sorry.
you know? You know what I'm saying? My dog's a good boy. My kids, you know what is a nuisance on Quail Road? All you kids. Okay, all right? The kids are a nuisance. They're out in the road. They ride their scooters. They're
Maybe.
annoying. Maybe. That's the only nuisance I see on Quail Hill
I do
Road.
drift in the middle. I do drift sometimes in the middle of the road.
Well, don't be saying that in this meeting.
So I'm serious, you guys. I'm not
So
trying to be a
we're
pain
here
in
to
the
address
ass,
the dog,
okay?
and we're here to help.
All
Okay,
right.
we're here to help you, and we're also here to protect the residents. Okay?
Okay.
And the
we're here to
dogs.
Work with everybody. And the dogs. We want to make sure the dog's safe too. And the ACO is concerned about the safety of the dog. So that's what we're here to address, all right? And how we address it really depends on the facts that we find here, all right?
Mhm.
So, Mr. Orange Julius,
Mhm.
okay, when you let him out, do you tie him up when you let him out, or do you have a fence in your yard?
I run with him. He
Okay,
and I run
okay,
miles, and then occasionally, if I feel like it, I put him out just out right outside my back door on a 200-foot rope. And otherwise, he stays in the house with me. He's my sidekick.
okay.
What do you do with your dog?
He usually sometimes sits on me. I get stuck.
I get that at home too. My dogs sit on me all the time too.
The thing's like as big as this chair, and that's only a puppy. So I'm like, oh, come on, Jules.
So what kind of dog is Orange Julius?
Moama.
A what?
A Moama.
A Moama?
Moama.
It's a marama. So a
Marama?
marama is basically, if you were in the East Coast, northern Italy, it's their version of a golden retriever.
Okay.
Fluffy, useless house dog that's supposed to protect your ducks.
Okay. All right.
Then sometimes eat two ducks.
They
No,
eat
they
your
don't
dogs?
eat your duck. We don't have any ducks.
We have chickens.
We used to until we started locking up Orange Julius. Now we have no chickens.
No,
The Bobcat ate them all.
no. We still have the other chick. We still have the old guys.
A rooster, real nice.
No, two of them.
You know, so that's it. It's a dog. It's a fluffy white dog. It looks like a golden
Okay.
retriever from Italy. You know, it's just a fancy
So-
house pet.
So, I understand with the dog. Is he the only dog you have?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, has he ever gotten out and run down the road and jumped on anybody's car or anything? Have you ever had to chase him down, get him back to the yard?
No, and he doesn't have the athletic ability to jump on anything. He can't get in my
He
bed.
can't jump.
We have to help him get on the couch. He's a big galoof, basically, would be the terminology I would describe him. He doesn't have the ambition to do that whatsoever. He might like leap and bound towards the road, but we really put an end to that because it annoyed us as well. But I don't want him running out to the road. I don't want him to get hurt. He's in the house with me for the most part. I own him because I don't hear very well. And basically, I just need to know. I feed my animals in the dark a lot, early in the morning and late at night, and I want somebody to nudge me with his nose. So he's been trained to touch me with his nose. Hey, UPS guy is here. So he just goes like that. But he's trained to never jump on my mom or knock her down, ever, or a child, because he is a big boy. So he's been click and point trained so that I can basically use sign language with him. He knows sign language. I click, I point, he knows what to do. He doesn't touch us, he doesn't take food off the table for the most part, if we're not looking, bad puppy. But he doesn't get on the bed, he won't even get on the couch, he doesn't even bark if someone comes to the door. Nope, he was the runt, and that's all he is. He's just a simple, good house rug.
Lazy.
Don't pick on my dog. Everybody else is picking on my dog. You're gonna do it too. You know what I mean? He's just a dog on Coy Hill Road. That's it. This is why I'm so miffed, honestly, you guys. This is why I'm like so blown away that I'm even here right now. And not with my dog and my family.
All right. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't know. Do you want to make any comments?
I'm stretching for a second.
Okay, that's nice. That means, well, you answer for yourself. I can't talk to the witnesses, remember?
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When would we hear the results of what your discussion is?
You're gonna hear it right now, as soon as we're done.
Can I say one more thing?
Do you have anything else, ma'am? Hold on.
Oh.
Do you have anything else, ma'am?
Mom?
Not at this point.
Okay.
I was curious who we were gonna be waiting for a phone call or hear what you have to say. I see no proof that this dog is dangerous or a nuisance. He's well behaved now. He was a puppy learning his boundaries. He's been taught better now. I've never seen him hurt anybody, not like the German Shepherd down the street that jumped on my car and really frightened me, this loose. And 4 other dogs in the neighborhood that run loose, and Julius did
So-
wanna
so,
follow
ma'am,
them down the
With
street
other,
because he loves company.
with other dogs, if you have a problem with dogs.
I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
Sorry. If you have a problem with dogs, if you're having problems with other dogs, notify the animal control officer and she will
I'm not
address it.
like that. Unless
Okay.
it's a real problem, I don't come and snitch on people.
Okay, well, that's what she's there for, is to make sure that everybody can live together and the animals are being properly secured. And that's her job. Okay? So if you have complaints about other animals, you definitely should bring it to the ACO so she can address it. But that is not what this meeting's about. This meeting's about addressing Orange Julius
Right.
and his behavior, okay? Do you have anything else, ma'am?
All the local neighbors don't seem to have a problem with it. I don't know, since we aren't told about these witnesses, who they were, if they lived right in my immediate area, or if they were running or passing by, or what. I don't know, since we're not allowed to address our accusers, which I find very unfair.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Anything else? Do you have any questions, sir?
I think the animal control
Yeah.
wanted to say something
Do
else
you have
before.
anything for them before
Not to
we-
them right now.
Okay.
No.
So, the people who have reported to me, are the person who was running and got bit. She did tell me that she sprayed him with, some spray, and that she just avoids the area now. The other person who told me that the dog was constantly jumping up on cars and stuff, that was another person. I saw the dog myself, and there is one email from Rutland Regional Dispatch that I did. I don't know if I provided that, but the email is, "Hello, just had a calling party. Report a large white dog in the roadway on Coy Hill Road, an area of," and it gives a number, "that has been chasing cars. Numerous residents have had to stop in order to not hit the dog." So a large white. Oh, do you have it?
We have it.
Oh, you do have it. Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm glad that was attached. So that is then the fourth person that has complained, which is why I have requested this, because there were so many people constantly calling in.
And that was on Wednesday, September 13th.
September 13th, so that was the other reason I
3:05
brought it up,
PM.
was she said, when was the last time that someone has complained? It was early March. No, that's not. If you follow the emails that I provided, you can see that this has steadily been going on, where I've been reporting in, hey, this person has talked to me, this person has talked to me, this person, to address the situation. So this has been constant. Every couple months I get another communication regarding this situation, and the last one that was documented was that email September 13th. Other people have, called me and told me.
And then there's another incident on August 27, 2023, from a resident who was driving up Coy Hill Road where they live. The resident stated that your dog was in the middle of the road and then came up over to the truck and jumped up on their truck, scratching with his nails. They stated this was not the first time that this has happened. And just a
Are
minute.
you sure that's not Brian Davis's dog?
Our dog has nothing on it. And if I could be recognized, the
Hey,
information we
hold on,
were
ma'am.
given.
Hold on, just hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 second, please. Are you all set?
The people who have reported this into me, including myself, I've met this dog, so I know who it is. I know what the dog looks like. The people who have reported it into me do know her in various different capacities, which is some of the reasons why they didn't want to be here as well. But they know her, they know the dog, and they, identified it as, the dog that
They have
they-
personal knowledge of the dog?
Yes.
Okay.
I just
Anything else?
find it strange.
1 second, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Anything
thought she
else?
was done.
You good? Great. Okay, ma'am.
I just find it strange, the information provided by the town, that all the letters addressed on this, the names of the complainants were redacted, like it was a big secret from the dog owner. Just doesn't seem
It
right.
is true that the paperwork that I was served, definitely, you can see that, as Ms. Keefe states, it is redacted, and it's odd, and it just is, one of those times may have been, I was moving a really large trailer out of our neighbor Rick's yard. So Parker, the dog, Fred, We were all out in the road. Yes, we were, and we blocked all of Coyle Road, just like the cows do and everything else, and it was a moment, but other than that, I mean, he hasn't been a nuisance, he's never bit anybody. I know that for a fact. And I can tell you this why I know it. If that dog had bit somebody, there would be an incident report from the hospital, and police would have been at my house, because that's part of the course. You can't have that. And if I owned a dangerous animal, believe me, I wouldn't own it, okay? I have children, I love all the children on Coy Hill Road. I'm a good person in my community, and I would not have an animal that I thought was unsafe for the community, or was concerned about its well-being. I know better than that. My entire life, I've had livestock and animals. And you will do as you all wish, because you always do here in your court. I understand that. So whatever you wish to do, please do. Tammy, I don't really appreciate you bringing up other things that don't relate to this.
So,
Please don't do it again.
again,
So what,
please address
what more?
the board directly and don't address the witnesses.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
But
you.
is there anything more that I can do for you, or tell you, or anything other than I have a dog?
Just answer
I
the
run with
questions
him
truthfully
3
when we
times a
talk to
day.
you.
You know what I would love to do? Go home and dinner and run with my dog. So, if there's anything more,
I'd love
would
to
you
do
all
that too,
please-
but I'm here,
but you're
doing
here.
what's supposed to be done, because there was a complaint,
Okay,
so
thank
we're
you.
addressing
Well,
the
I think we
complaint.
have addressed it, so can we please wrap this up?
Well, we have not addressed it yet.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
No, let's
Okay, thank you.
go. Come on.
So as far as the dog bite, this is the ACO. Was there a report from
The
the
dog did
emergency
not
room?
break skin. If you could look in the email that was sent from the person who was involved in the bite, as well as my email to Ms. Keefe, the woman was wearing a puffy coat, and it did not break skin. So there's no need for a 10-day home quarantine, or there was no need for her to go to the hospital, because it did not break any skin. However, she was bit, according to what she told me.
Okay, thank you.
For the record,
Yes, ma'am.
that email dates back to the end of February, okay? So if there was indeed a dog bite or a dangerous animal, as we say here, then I would have really hoped that something would have been done about it sooner than 8 months later, okay? Think about that one for a minute, all right?
Well,
Because
thank you very
I
much.
wouldn't want a dangerous animal in my neighborhood, okay? 8 months later. Think about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, we're seeing paper trail of emails, communication back and forth with the ACO to your email address. And that's elkeefe.
300, yes.
I didn't want to say it on TV to give it to everybody, but
Yeah.
that's your email.
Yes, it
And you
is.
acknowledge you've received the emails from her, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've spoken in person as
And
well.
you've spoken about the dog, okay? She's made attempts with you to try to resolve the issue.
No,
prior.
sir, I wouldn't call it attempts. We simply said, I explained to her that the dog followed, a resident of, my property at the time down the road, that, God, that's gotta be a year ago. A year ago now. This is why this is all like strangely odd to me, like, just, what? Okay, so we were moving a trailer or something, and maybe whatever, so the dog was out in the yard with us or something, and somebody called it in. Yeah, you know what, I don't know. Should I call in every cow that crosses the road? How about, the Richardsons' 5 dogs, should I call them in?
So
They're
again-
on my lawn every day, I don't complain.
Ms. Keith,
You
we're
know?
here to address your dog, Orange Julius,
Yep.
tonight. Not everybody else's dogs, not cows, not squirrels, nothing else, just your dog, okay? That is what the hearing is for. So if we could please keep that to this dog.
Yeah.
If you have complaints about other animals,
No, if it speeds it up, I'll keep it to the
let
spot.
the ACO know, and I'm sure she'll address the other animals within the community. But we're here for your dog.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
All right, so this is for the ACO. over the past, since, was there previous incidents before March?
No, that incident where I saw it was over the summer. It was this year. It was a few months ago. It's in the emails. Everything's dated. So it started around, I would say closer to March, early March, but it may be late February, that this has been going on. I haven't been in contact last year or anything like that.
We did get a thing saying that the dog was licensed on this day, yesterday. And it does have its rabies vaccination. All right.
David could have him.
Do you have any questions?
To the animal control officer, when was the last time you saw the dog not in their property?
That I personally saw it
Yes.
was over the summer. The date where I, if you have a copy of the emails,
I
the date
do.
where I addressed that I was.
Sometime between
Um,
July,
I
August?
think July.
So July was the last time you saw it outside their property?
Was the last time, yeah.
It was outside their property?
Yes, it was down Coy Hill Road, close to Reynolds Road, which is a significant distance from their property, which is way up on the hill.
And you do recognize the dog from a distance?
Yes, I've been to her property before because yearly we do the animal inspector role. You do livestock inspections, and so I have been on the property before. I've met the dog before, and it's very big, white and fluffy, very unique face. You know, it's very hard to confuse that dog with another type of dog.
From your personal experience, is it hard to approach the dog? I mean, do you get scared getting close to him?
It's a large breed dog. I think it looks more like, it definitely reminds me of like a Newfoundland, because it's just so big and fluffy. And so someone who is scared of dogs, seeing this dog, you know, run towards them would, you know, be intimidating to some people just because of the sheer size.
Thank you. Now I have a question for Elizabeth, if I may call you Elizabeth?
Yeah.
One last thing, this dog does not growl or snap at anybody or bite at them. He's just gentle-natured.
Just for the record, how old is today Orange Julius?
Okay, so he was 10 weeks old to me first again. So I believe he's 17 months old now. 17 months now. And I picked him up. He weighs in at 87 pounds now. And I picked him up.
No, is it 90?
I don't know. I couldn't stand still holding 90-pound dog, 87-pound dog. He
On a
was happy.
bathroom scale.
On a bathroom scale. So approximately that, and I believe he's reached full maturity. He looks like a golden retriever, pretty much. Or like a mini Pyrenees, kind of. I'll show you his picture if you want.
On the incident where this car was on the road and the dog kind of like want to say hi to him, and he says that it scratched the door, but were you aware of that he was out?
No.
He originally was bought to guard the animals, and the pigs occasionally would go over towards the road, and Julius would run over there to herd them back, and would often be close to the roadway, still on our property, but the pigs would be going through the grass and the trees, trying to just go over to Richardson's or something. Grass is greener type of thing, and you would see him come back with a couple of pigs that he herded back.
And my last question, if tomorrow I walk on that road with my little dog, I can just walk by your house and be okay?
Yes.
Or do I have to
You
grab my
have no
dog
fear.
because that big dog is coming at me?
No.
No. You're
His
welcome to
best
come
friend is a
visit.
Chihuahua. Rick next door has a Chihuahua. This is my dog,
Yes,
and
but
there's a hot dog.
my question is, will he come out of the property if I'm walking in front of your property?
No, but the odd thing about this property is, so there's like a whole row of hickory, maples, elms, beautiful trees on the front. There's frontage from like here to all the way there. There's a considerable amount of distance that is still on our property. Brian mows it for us, Brian Richardson, is really beautiful. And he will not go any further than our stone wall, but you have to understand, we own 1 mile of Coy Hill Road, both directions from our property. So, and this dog knows his boundaries. I just don't let him out at all anymore, because I'm afraid you guys are gonna off with his head. He's not unfriendly. His best friend, like I said, is a teeny tiny dog. And now his kitten is his best friend. And that's it. No, this is a gentle giant. So I understand if somebody was afraid, maybe, you know, having a dog. But he's not like a big, like some of those big breeds. Not at all. I gave him a
I
bath.
get it, don't worry.
Okay,
Understand,
okay.
understand, thank
Well,
you, thank you very
should
much.
come over. Why don't you come over then and come see him?
I will do so.
Do so, please.
It's not
I'm
like
done,
a
sir.
pit bull.
You know?
Thank you.
Did you have something to say?
Yes.
Good.
The only thing he growls at is pigs trying to steal his food. So when Joyce has a corn husk, pig is like, I want it. They have a wrestle. They literally wrestle it.
Right. Well, as long as that's on your property, you're
It
fine.
is. Yeah, it is.
All right.
We called it a show, pig versus dog.
Who wins?
Pig.
Yep. Every time?
Almost.
Well, thank you very much for that tidbit of information.
Oh, here's another funny one. Joyce is actually scared of a little black pig. The thing jumps on him like, and Joyce like,
He's a sissy.
He's a wuss, honestly.
Well, thank you very much for that, too. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add? Okay. Are there any other witnesses that have witnessed this dog in this property that would like to come forward? No? Okay.
Anybody want to see his picture? I have a million of them. He's really cute.
Okay. So, as far as a dangerous dog, we'll look into that first. I don't see a dangerous dog here. There was no attack of another animal off the property. The dog jumped on somebody and grabbed somebody. It's young, and it's probably very scary. I agree with the ACO. It's a big dog, and it could be a scary situation. But I don't think it was doing it. Do you feel like the dog was doing it to hurt somebody or just playful?
I wasn't there, I can't. I
Okay.
can't say. I've met the dog, I've had positive interactions with the dog.
Okay. So I don't see, and there was no hospital report, there was nothing like that to lead to where, or quarantine that would make us suspect that the dog is dangerous to the community. But I do feel there is enough information to warrant a nuisance dog within the community, because the dog is getting off the property. It is the property owner's job, God bless you,
Thank you.
job to keep
Thank you.
and maintain their animals on their own property. We all have to do it. Everybody else should be doing it. And, you know, that is the personal responsibility. Even though the property owner has ample property to have the dog on, the dog must stay on their property. We can't say anything about what goes on their property, but when the dog comes off and goes into a public way, being a road, which the public has access to, then that becomes a concern for the rest of the community. All right? So I would see that there would be ample enough information to say that there's a nuisance dog, and we can go from there. unless you believe otherwise as far as dangerous dog or nuisance dog.
Sir, I don't believe this is a dangerous dog. I believe this is just, all dogs 12, 2 years and younger are kind of like, they want to have fun, they go, they run, you can't stop them from being little kids. Unfortunately, they've been caused, bad situations where, people walking there, they, by mistake, they got out of the property and was not appropriate. And our bylaws, they clearly said that any dog should be in a leash when being outside the property. I don't think it's a dangerous dog.
Would you agree that there's enough warranted for nuisance dog?
Unfortunately, there isn't evidence for a nuisance dog, but I back up my opinion on that the dog is young, and from now on, the owner will have more responsibility, about it.
Okay. So I would say we'll do a motion. I don't find evidence that the dog, I'll make a motion that I don't find evidence on the dog being a dangerous dog.
I second that.
All in favor?
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. I motion that there's ample enough evidence to determine that the dog is a nuisance dog within the community.
I second that.
All in favor?
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The dog is a nuisance dog within the community. And to mitigate that and prevent the dog from continuing this behavior, what would the ACO recommend for that?
There's tether laws that, has to be more than 10 feet. There are laws about what time they're allowed to be out there to prevent, and to protect the dog. Those should probably be provided. I'm sure that they abide already, but that should definitely be provided, that they're aware if they're going to be using a tether. And the restraint, the dog needs to be restrained, and if the dog is not properly restrained, then there are Mass General laws that say, what happens from that point on. But all I'm looking for is that the dog be properly restrained. If they want to do different methods, I don't have a preference. People like different things. Some people like, the cable runs that go back and forth. Some people like ties, as long as the dog's not getting all caught up in stuff. Some people do really well with the wireless electric fences, which may or may not work with him being fluffy. I don't really have a preference. I just want this dog to be kept to the property.
Okay. So would a good restriction be that we order that the dog be maintained on the property at all times unless it's on a leash, if it's coming off the property?
I would, for like legal purposes, I would say a leash or tethering system so that they can choose, or a restraint system so that they can choose which is something that would work best for them and their dog.
Okay.
I would expect we could still walk him on a leash.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, ma'am, is, again, if you're taking your dog off the property, it should be leashed. Okay? So we're just reiterating that, okay, in order. Do you have anything that you would see that beyond that is, as long as it's restricted to the property?
As long as you can keep it inside your property, if you go out, take a leash, I believe he's maturing and it will be behave more, and at the same time you will keep it inside the property and be an example to the other dogs that are getting out over there. It will be a good thing.
Okay, do you have anything else that you would see that you should add onto that?
No, just keep it in the property and not if you go outside in a leash.
Okay.
That's what I wanna
So
see.
I'll make a motion for a condition of the nuisance dog that Mr. Orange Julius be restricted to the property by by means of the owner's choice, and that if the dog is to leave the property, it is to be either tethered or leashed at all times while off the property.
Second,
Can I add something in? Just to be notified of whatever containment system they choose.
So, second, all in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. So you understand, ma'am, that's a condition now, is if the dog's gonna leave the property, it must be leashed or tethered, so it's in control, okay? And it shall not leave the property unless it is, okay? And I'll make another motion that, that the ACO is to be notified of the
Method.
method of restraining the dog on the property. The ACO will be notified within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks
No.
of the said order.
Honestly,
Ma'am? Okay, we're just moving forward with this, okay? I'll give you a minute to speak afterwards.
Second,
All in favor?
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. And you are to notify the ACO of the means that you're gonna restrain the dog to your property and maintain that dog on your property.
okay, I'm right here. So
Okay.
let me let you.
Within 2 weeks, you'll be notifying her.
No, I'm not
Okay.
going to be. I'm right here in front of you right now, and I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes my dog's in my house, sometimes my dog's in the barn. Sometimes my dog's on a rope, sometimes my dog is running with me on a rope. And that's the end of your story. I'm not notifying anybody to my means of restraint. There, you just heard it from my red lips, okay? That's it. There it is. There it is. I'm not taking any more of my time, David, I'm sorry. Like, that's it, you heard it. You heard it, James? You heard it, sir? I'm sorry, that's it. So sometimes he's in the barn with me, sometimes he runs with me, sometimes he's in the house with me, and sometimes if he's annoying, I put him on a rope. That's the end of it. There's nothing else to say.
Okay.
He's always restrained. So there's your answer, sir.
I suggest you to communicate that to the ACO and how you're gonna do it.
I just did.
And,
I just did.
okay,
Dude, I just did.
so you talk directly to the board, not the ACO.
May I have
Okay.
a moment to do that then?
Afterwards, if you wanna talk to her, that's fine.
Oh, you guys are so ridiculous.
But you have to do it within 2 weeks
Or what?
of this.
Or else?
Well, that's the order.
Okay, and so what exactly, legit, could you guys please just, for everybody for the record, please, I am communicating to you
Mhm.
that yes, I will restrain my animal.
Okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
But I'm not, please don't hold me to answering emails and notifications. I have a family, I have a farm, I love my mother, I'm a busy person. Can we please just make a resolution here and today? I don't think I'm asking too much for that. That is not asking a lot, okay? So can we just, please, is that fair enough?
We've already made the motion, we already declared it. That's the
And so what
order.
exactly are you gonna do to me if I don't follow through with the
So,
motion?
I suggest you follow them, because again, you can receive fines for not following it.
This is where, if I were you, I would resign, point blank.
It's possible.
Point
It's
blank.
possible.
Point blank. I'm gonna put
So-
all of you.
I just want
Yeah.
to see this gentleman's name, your flag and all that belongs
Yeah,
to your name.
yeah. That's all right, don't worry, Parker, all
Yeah,
right?
Derek, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you,
Nice to
Derek,
meet
you're
you.
quite a gentleman. Thank you, James, for having us.
Do you have anything
Thank-
else, sir?
Yeah?
No, sir.
Jim,
No?
hopefully I'll see
Okay.
you soon.
Take
Yeah,
care.
Yeah, maybe.
care.
We'll
So,
see.
do you have anything else to add, Mrs. Keefe?
No, other than I think I
Okay.
just told you guys how I was going to restrain my dog, so I don't know why I need correspondence.
No.
The ma'am is speaking, she's right here. Why can't I
Okay.
just,
So you address the
Please.
board, okay, this is outside the board's purview.
namaste or something? I don't know what else to
So-
say. Should I get on my knees? I'm like, come on, this is getting like.
So, Ms. Keefe, you're actually getting
Tedious.
disrupted now.
Can I address the fact that she just
Let's leave. I don't
recommended me
like
to
his
resign? What does that mean?
No, my mother.
You don't
is
have to
going
address that.
This
You
is
don't
not
have to
about you.
address that.
No,
That
this
was
is not about you.
something.
My mom's probably going to resign. She works for this town as well.
So Ms. Keefe,
Yes, okay, so,
Ms. Keefe, again.
Tammy, I will restrain the dog. I'm not sending you any notifications.
So Ms. Keefe, you're getting disruptive now.
Yeah, because I wanna go home and make dinner.
Okay, you're allowed to go home now. We're about to end the meeting. Thank you.
Have a great night.
So I'll make a motion,
No, I
close
would
the
be
dog
glad to get out of
hearing
here, you know?
for 777 Coy Hill Road.
Second,
All in favor?
Derek Bellis, aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. The hearing is closed. All right. Do you need a break or anything?